The sun had barely risen, casting a soft golden glow across the village as Lila, the young milkmaid, began her daily journey to the market. She carried a large metal container of fresh milk, balancing it effortlessly on her head. Her simple dress swayed with each step as she walked down the narrow, cobblestone road, surrounded by fields and small houses. The quiet morning was peaceful, with the sounds of birds chirping and a light breeze rustling through the trees. But beneath the calm exterior, Lila's heart was brimming with excitement. Today, she felt, would be a turning point. As she walked, she began to dream, her thoughts drifting away from the quiet path in front of her and into the realm of possibility. After I sell the milk today, she murmured to herself, her voice full of quiet determination, I'll have enough to buy something more. Something bigger. Something that will change everything. With every step, her excitement grew, and soon she was imagining the possibilities. I'll use the money to buy 100 chicks. 100 little chicks, and when they grow, I'll sell them for a good price. I can raise them, feed them, and watch them become strong. As Lila walked, her body language shifted, she began to move more lightly, almost skipping as the dream took over. Her surroundings seemed to change with her thoughts. The road softened, the grass grew greener, and a magical, almost glowing light enveloped the path ahead. She could see it in her mind, the tiny chicks peeping around her, running playfully across the barnyard. Lila continued to murmur to herself, her excitement building. Once I sell the chicks, I'll have enough to buy 2 goats. I'll take care of them, and when they grow strong, I'll sell their milk, or maybe even make cheese. Her mind danced with images of goats grazing in a wide, green field, their soft bleats filling the air. In her dream, she could almost feel the warmth of their milk, the satisfaction of working with animals, and the comfort of knowing she was building a future. And when the goats are sold, I'll have enough to buy 2 cows. Just 2, but enough to start my own farm. My own little world with a barn and fields of grain. I'll have a big house, plenty of food, and I'll never have to worry about anything again. Maybe I'll even have enough money to travel. I'll go to the city, see the world.
The vision of her dream life stretched before her, endless and full of possibility. Lila's excitement swelled, and she found herself laughing and skipping down the road, her steps lighter and more carefree. Her imagination took her further, showing her a life of comfort and joy, a life she believed was just within reach. The world around her sparkled with the colors of her dreams, everything brighter, warmer, and more magical than the simple road she had been walking.
But as the daydreams took over, something unexpected happened. Lila, caught up in the excitement of her imagined future, was no longer paying attention to the world around her. Without warning, her foot caught on a hidden stone, and she tumbled forward, crashing to the ground. The container of milk she had been carrying on her head shattered with a loud clatter, spilling the milk across the dirt road. Lila gasped, her dreams suddenly crashing down around her as the fresh, white liquid spread out on the ground. She sat up slowly, stunned, staring at the mess she had made. The milk that had once represented the first step towards her new life now lay wasted at her feet. No more dream, she cried out, her voice full of frustration and disbelief. The golden world she had imagined in her mind was gone, replaced by the stark reality of spilled milk. She sat there for a long moment, staring at the dirt and the ruined milk, her heart heavy. She had been so caught up in her fantasies that she hadn't noticed how fragile her plans were, how easily they could be shattered. The reality of the situation began to sink in. I was so foolish, she whispered, shaking her head. I got ahead of myself. I shouldn't have counted my chickens before they were hatched. The realization hit her like a wave, and for a moment, she felt a deep sense of loss. All of her dreams, so vivid and alive in her mind, had crumbled with one small misstep. Lila slowly got to her feet, brushing the dirt off her dress. She looked at the spilled milk again, the evidence of her unfulfilled hopes. Her smile had faded, replaced by a quiet sadness. But then, after a long pause, something shifted within her. She straightened her back, took a deep breath, and gathered the broken pieces of the container. She didn't stay on the ground, lost in regret. Instead, she stood up, determined. She realized that life wasn't about rushing ahead or dreaming too far into the future. It was about taking one step at a time, about working for what you wanted and being patient with the process. It's okay, she told herself softly. I'll start over tomorrow. I'll sell the milk again, and I'll take it one step at a time. The journey might be longer than I thought, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. With a new sense of purpose, Lila began walking back toward the village, her steps slower but more grounded than before. She had learned a valuable lesson, that dreams were important, but they needed to be built carefully, with patience and hard work. She looked out at the horizon, the soft glow of the evening sun casting long shadows over the land. One day, she thought, I'll get there. But I need to be ready. I need to work for it. As the screen slowly faded to black, the words appeared, "Do not count your chickens before they are hatched." The end.
Subscribe to my channel.